Welcome to Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, a series of cautionary tales for lovers of screams. Spindleshanks has got himself a new pet. I said he could have one if he could look after it properly. Good boy, Spindleshanks. What a good spider you are. Spindleshanks! You never eat your pet. I don't care if it was delicious. Ethel Turnip was a greedy child who could never get enough food. It was a source of great regret to her that she only had one mouth, where two would have been much quicker. One Christmas, she read about a company that bred stomachs for the annual stomach rolling competition in Netherwallet.
I want another stomach,
she said.
I'll give it a name and carry it around with me wherever I go, so that I can eat twice as much food as I do now.
But won't a stomach leave a mess around the house? Asked her mother.
I'll keep it in a box.
And do we know what it eats? Inquired her father.
Duh, it's a stomach, bonehead. Everything except cold rice pudding, of course.
And does it need much looking after?
All these stupid questions. It needs walking every day so it doesn't get fat. It needs food and water, and it needs me.
So, it's a bit like a pet dog.
No, it's a stomach. But if it makes you happy, I'll call it Rover, OK? Good. I'll phone up the farm and have one delivered.
And that was the only thought that Ethel gave to buying a new pet. When the parcel arrived, Ethel refused to wait until Christmas Day and opened it there and then in the hall. Ah! Obadiah!
Beware acid. Gastric juices burn. Yeah.
From that moment on, Ethel liked her new stomach just a little bit less. Come Christmas Day, however, the pet stomach performed to Ethel's satisfaction. Oh, aren't they sweet? It's just like having a puppy. At 5 o'clock, the swollen stomach woke with a start and tooted in Ethel's face. I think it wants to go outside into the garden, said Mrs. Turnip, rather urgently.
You take it. I'm too tired.
So poor Ethel's mother, who had done all the cooking and all the washing up, had to carry Ethel's stomach into the garden, where it did what a stomach has to do, behind the raspberries. For the rest of Christmas Day and all of Boxing Day, the stomach was a perfect pet. But Ethel was irritated by its constant attention. When she'd asked for a stomach, she hadn't realised how much tender, loving care it would need. I think it's rather sweet.
Then it can sleep on your bed tonight. I didn't get a wink last night with its rumblings and grumblings and little tooty noises.
You should have thought of these things before you made us buy it.
Well, I'm thinking about them now. I like having two stomachs when I'm hungry, but the rest of the time it's a complete load of poo.
The stomach could tell when it wasn't wanted. And that night, Ethel locked the stomach out. In the morning, it was frozen stiff. It needs warming up, said Mrs. Turnip. Take it for a run.
Oh, why is it always me? stomachs can run by themselves, you know.
Ethel was filled with embarrassment as she dragged the stomach round the park. She tried shoving it up her jumper, but that just made her look fat. She pretended it was a balloon, but it dribbled jelly juice into her hair. So she pretended it was a space hopper, but it squirted a policeman in the eye. By the time she got home, Ethel hated her stomach. She hated the way it depended on her for everything. So early the next morning, she packed the stomach into 6 plastic bags, caught a bus into the countryside, and threw the stomach into a field of cows. "Where's Rover?" asked Mrs. Turnip later that night. "I've cooked its favourite meal."
Dead.
Lied Ethel.
Don't talk to me about it. I'm grieving.
But the stomach was not dead. The stomach was hungry. Hungry for food and revenge. It squirted a startled cow with its gastric juices. Then it ate her. And all her friends. And all the sheep in the next field. And by the time it had polished off a chicken farm and a zoo, the stomach was 20 feet tall and growing. It was a giant blob. It rumbled like an erupting volcano as it soaked the countryside with a shower of acid rain, laid waste to all that stood in its way, and headed home to Ethel's. It appeared on the 6 o'clock news. "Killer stomach on the loose."
Pardon? Can't hear you, love. My stomach's rumbling.
"This stomach is angry. This stomach is really upset. The Prime Minister has finally sent in troops." But the stomach squirted acid at the tanks and their guns dropped off. Nothing could stop Rover now. It carved swathes of acid death through Middle England and only came to a halt when it rumbled up to Ethel's front door.
What do you want, you horrible stomach?
I wouldn't speak to it like that if I was you, dear. I think it's rather cross.
But I'm its master. It does what I say.
Not anymore. Oh dear, I think it wants you, Ethel. Why is it so upset? Maybe it's got wind, said Mr. Turnip, and he rushed inside to fetch his indigestion tablets. But it wasn't wind. So, remember, a stomach is for life, not just for Christmas. Whereas a spider is for fun, so you can do what you like with it. Hey!